Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, this is the long overdue Q&A that I asked you guys to participate in about a month ago, and I was really taken back by all the questions that I got. I got about like 30 something, and I could not choose around 10 alone, and I decided to do 10 because I don't want to have you guys sitting here for an hour because I don't have that kind of patience and I don't want to test y'all's patience. So I asked my friend Lianna to help me out and choose 10, and she is featured in this video, and I hope that you guys learn to love and enjoy her as much as I do because she is really smart and funny, and I can't wait to meet her when I do go to California, which I'm hoping is soon. But other than that, all her information will be down below, and let's get to it.
What's up, everybody? My name is Lianna. I'm 20 years old. I'm from California, specifically from the Bay Area. What's up? Let me not do that. I promise I'm Christian. Yeah, I'm not a YouTuber, just putting it out there. I'm not. I definitely am interested in being one, but as of right now, I'm not. So I just want to say thank you to Brianna for even letting me be on her video and featuring me. Like, I'm so honored. She is a queen and I love her. She's so dope, and I'm just shook that she thought of little old me to be on her video. Like, who am I? I'm nobody, but yet here I am. And just thank you for letting me have this opportunity to just like get in front of the camera and just become comfortable with it. So I'll just get right into it because I can talk for days and it's really annoying. So yeah. Okay, so the first question is, what do you think God is teaching you the most at this moment in your life? And to be honest, this question is real deep. Like, it's deep. I feel like in life people go through different. Sorry, this is my laptop. Sorry, that was so annoying. My laptop's right here because I wrote all my questions there because I'll forget. But yeah, I feel like people go through different seasons all the time, and it's just so amazing to think that God really has different, specific, and unique lessons that He teaches us through every season that we go through. And I guess for me right now, and this video can definitely attest to that, is God really has been speaking to me about the dangers of comfort zones and how the place that you are in right now heavily impacts where you're going to be. And I definitely understand, you know, if it's God's will, it'll happen. That's just guaranteed. But you know, when I look back at my life, I can really see the process of where I was and where I am right now, and it pains me to think of how long it took for me to get from A to B. And you know, when in reality, I could have been here. I could have accomplished things that I've accomplished way earlier in my life. But because I was so comfortable in certain areas, I didn't want to move. I didn't want to step out, and I'd reject God's calling, which is crazy. Like, so crazy. But it happens, you know, when we become so comfortable and we become stagnant, we don't want to move from that because it requires of us to step into the unknown, and that's terrifying, you know. So you know, I definitely think that me not moving and me staying in my comfort zones has definitely prolonged a lot of my blessings and opportunities, because you know, when God called me to move, I didn't move, and it took me a while to move. So I guess what He's been trying to tell me, you know, is to step up and get out of those comfort zones. So right now in my life, as you can see, I'm trying new things, and as small as this may be, like, you know, making a YouTube video, you know, it's something that I've always wanted to do since like 2014. And me doing this now, it speaks volumes to my progress, and I know that it may not be a big deal for some, but me sitting right now in front of you guys, in front of a camera, is just wild to think, because back then, sorry, my laptop, back then I would have never done it. And no, it's not even just this. Like, I've stepped up to leadership roles this year, and I've stepped up to ministries that I didn't think I would ever be in, and I've dived deeper, and I feel like none of that would have happened if I stayed in those comfort zones. And I've learned that the moment that you step out of those areas, you know, those areas like where you know, you're with the same old friends that aren't really great, like, of an influence to you, or you're staying in that relationship that's kind of toxic, and you're just going through these day-to-day routines that aren't getting you anywhere. I feel like the moment that you step out of those areas, you allow God to take control, and that's the starting point to becoming the person that God has called you to be. It's the starting point to accomplishing whatever your dreams may be. And it just gives you this freedom and this liberty to do all the great things that you have dreamed of doing. And you really just realize, like, hey, like, I did this. Like, sis, you did that. And it gives you just this reassurance and this confidence. And like right now, I just feel like I have a totally different mindset to where I was, and I've definitely grown a lot. And if Brianna would have asked me to do this, I would have not even have let her finish her sentence without me already rejecting it. Like, I would just doubt myself, and my brain would tell me like I feel like the human brain, like whenever you're going to do something that is unfamiliar, your brain just sends like these code red alarms, like don't do it. But sometimes when God calls you to do it, you just gotta ignore that voice in your head. And you know, here I am now, and you know, I'm here and I'm being vulnerable and I'm putting myself out there and I'm doing something that I love. And yeah, I guess I went off tangents, but overall, God has definitely been teaching me the beauty of getting out of those comfort zones. And, you know, old ways don't open you doors. So if you want to dive into newer opportunities and in your career, your ministry, your dreams, you're not going to do it by staying in your comfort zones. You're not going to do it by doing the same old things that you're doing now. So, yeah, I guess that's what... Sorry, I talk forever, see? I guess that's what God's been teaching me right now in this moment of my life. So, yeah.
Okay, so my answer to that question is probably not as serious as I wish it was, but as something I've noticed in about like the past month, I believe, I'm not the greatest driver in the world, and by that I mean I speed like crazy without even like, I don't feel it, and that's not safe at all. But I also tend to like lose my patience when I'm on the road, again, something that's not safe. And I know that Jesus Christ himself is looking down at me like, sis, you need to slow down. And so I think something that he's trying to teach me lately is, I don't know what is wrong with me, but like every time that I'm on the road and someone in front of me is going, I mean like dead, so like 10 miles under the speed limit, I get so frustrated, I get angry so quickly. And I know that, you know, the Bible says to be slow to anger, and that is not what I'm doing. So I feel like this is something straight from God that he's doing in my life, or that he's trying to teach me, at least, you know, even in the smallest slight of a lesson, is that I'm not exaggerating, I'm not, you know, like, it's literally every single car that has gotten in front of me and is being that slow in about the past month or longer, actually. I don't know if it's gonna be a lifetime lesson. I'm really hoping not, because, you know, I might not ever pass it, but I feel like every single person that has gotten in front of me lately in the past month or so, they've been going a crazy amount of slowness, as in like, you know, they're going 10 miles, 15 miles under the speed limit, and I tail them. And I'm a natural person that like tails people, but with them, and it's like without noticing. So with them, it's like I'm forcing it on them. Like I'm like, dude, like get the hint, you're going really slow. And I never tend to look at people's license plates, but literally in the past month or so, when I've been getting that angry to the point where I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't even care if I hit you at this, you know, at this red light, but like you seriously need to like hurry up, because how do you know I'm not in a rush? And every single person has been a disabled person. And I'm like, oh, okay, then I feel guilty. Then I'm just like, all right, like I can't, you know, I'm not about to be mean to this person. They're probably only going as fast as they can. And so I believe that God is trying to teach me, you know, to be patient on the road, to be slow to anger. And, you know, I don't know, like, I think there's a lot of lessons that can be learned in that, aside from being, you know, be a better driver. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, I just feel like he's trying to teach me to be patient, definitely in this season of my life, because, you know, that might be just one little thing that I need to be patient about, but I know there's several things in my life that I'm probably trying to rush that I don't realize, and I'm going to learn patience through this little test of driving behind disabled people.
What do you plan on doing with your major after you graduate? Okay, so my major, I have two. My major, is child psychology, and I'm minoring in education. I kind of worked with kids all my life. Since I was 15, I was like the youngest Sunday school teacher, and my old jobs, like I've always worked with kids for the most part. Right now I'm an after school program teacher or like coordinator, and I guess that kind of what inspired me to do teaching, because I love it and I'm good at it. But at the same time, I like going back to the answer to the first question, I don't want to like settle on doing that because I think I'm good at it. I want to also like try new things. So I'm also leaning on nursing, which is totally different, and I've always been interested in it. I cannot talk. I've always been interested in it, and it's totally different. It's out of my comfort zone because I hate science, y'all. Like I cannot do science. Like I like failed bio last quarter and like I have to retake it. And so if I do become a nurse, just know it was not me. It was all God, because I can't. But I want to. So we'll see. We'll see what goes.
So the next question was, what do you want to do with your major after you graduate? And for those of you who don't know, I am currently enrolled as a sophomore, junior. I don't know. I feel like in college you don't really know what, level of college you're in, because that even makes sense. Whatever. Something. You know what? I'm just enrolled. I'm enrolled at downstate, and my major is social work. So your girl is just trying to get a job in what I'm studying for.
Okay, so if you have kids, what would you name them, boy or girl? I love this question. Every time somebody asks me this question, I be pulling up their non-existent birth certificates. Like, here it is. Here's my list. I feel like I've like been thinking about names for my kids ever since like I knew I could have kids. Mostly because I like don't like my name, and like I wish I could change my name. So when I'd always say like, when I have a future daughter, I'm gonna name her this. I used to want to name my daughter Vanessa Hudgens because I was obsessed with Vanessa Hudgens, but that's canceled. So for my girl, I would name her Heaven. And I just think that is the most underrated, most beautiful name ever. And her middle name, yes, I have a middle name already. Her middle name would be Alma. And Alma in Spanish means soul or spirit. So just those put together is just so ethereal to me. And I just love it. And I can't wait to have a daughter just to name her that. My boy would be named Mateo. And Mateo is actually my boyfriend's middle name. So that's cool, but I got it from Jane the Virgin, Little Mateo, if you guys watch that show. Yeah, so I got it from that show, and I just love that name. I think it's so cute. I would probably pair it with the name Calais. And Calais means something really cool. I think it means something in Arabic, like fortune or like health or spiritual. I forgot. But it's cool. I like the sound of it. It's weird. My boyfriend says it's kale, but it's not kale. It's Calais, so it's Khale. I don't know. I also don't want him to be bullied. So we'll see. It'll probably be like Mateo Calais. I just like the sound of that. I like to give my kids like unique names, but not so unique that they're gonna get bullied and like made fun of. So yeah, Heaven, Alma, and Mateo Calais.
The next question was, when you have kids, what would you name your girl or your boy? And if it was a girl, honestly, this name I feel like could go for either one, and I know people kind of look at me funny when I say it, but I really love the name Ollie, and so I think if like with the perfect middle name, it would sound really cute, but it all depends on like my future husband's last name, so that is to be decided, obviously, but I really like Ollie for either a girl or a boy. But if I had to choose, like if I had, let's say, God's grace and mercy, if I had a boy and a girl twin, then I would probably name the boy Ollie, and then the little girl like Delaney or something. I don't know. I kind of want to start the name with like a D or an A. I don't know. Very indecisive, but it's all good because I'm not even pregnant. So
Starbucks order. This is definitely all a Brianna question. This is all her. I'm not the biggest Starbucks person. I love Starbucks. Like I'm not gonna say she's not cool. Like, she's cool. I used to be a really big Starbucks person, but I'm definitely more of a Phil's kind of girl. But I usually would get like an iced upside down caramel macchiato, or I would get like a vanilla latte. Like I'm really basic. Sometimes when I don't want coffee, I'll get a strawberries and cream. Like I used to get that all the time when I used to like not be able to drink coffee. I'd like come in with like in class in middle school with my strawberries and cream, like trying to stunt on everybody. I thought I was so bougie like that. But
so I'm gonna just say, whoever asked me this question, you know me so well. But the question was, what is your go-to Starbucks order? And that would be a venti iced caramel coffee with cream, sometimes classic, depending on my mood.
Okay, so my biggest pet peeve is, I'm trying to think. I hate it when I'm like at home, right? I come from work, I come from school, I'm so tired. I just want to lay in my crustiness and just relax, and I just want to live my best life watching Netflix and like YouTube videos or whatever I do, and I just want to chill. And I'm laying there, I'm comfy, the lights are off, my door is closed, and someone comes into my room, the door is closed, comes into my room, opens the door, turns on the lights, tells me what they gotta tell me, and leaves with the light on and the door open. That's my biggest pet peeve. Oh my God, I get so mad. Like, bruh, close the door. Yeah. I guess another one would be like rude people. Like people who just think they got the right to be rude to everybody. Like, who hurt you, sis? Why are you being so mean to the barista? They didn't do nothing to you.
So the next question was, what is your biggest pet peeve? And I don't know if this is necessarily a pet peeve, but I guess it does get on my nerves. But and I'm really sorry if I've ever done this to anyone. I'm trying to change that if I pick it up and I notice it. But I can't stand whenever someone like writes me on social media and like hypes up, like, I guess our friendship or whatever, your friendship, like with them, or just getting to meet you or whatever it is. Like, they're always just like hyping you up, and they make it seem like they're just, your best friend on social media. And then like you run into them in person, or you meet up with them in person, and they're just kind of like dry. And I get it, like your first time may be, a little awkward, but I feel like I can make people feel comfortable pretty quickly, or at least I try to. And so if the entire hangout was like dry, it I don't know, kind of ticks at me. And my relationship, I'm gonna let you know right now, my relationship with you will change.
Have you been wanting to visit but haven't yet? Oregon is really pretty. I love Oregon and just the greenery and like the weather. I'm all over it. I definitely want to visit.
The next state I want to visit is Arizona. So shout out to my girl Perla and her little sister. Love you guys.
What is your best advice to yourself when you are feeling sad? Well, I'm the type of person to ignore my feelings and stuff everything inside and kind of like move on with my life. But as years went by, I realized that obviously that wasn't healthy. So don't do that. I now realize the importance of feeling your emotions and letting them out of your system. First, if you're feeling sad and are like me, I'd say, understand that we all feel sad and it's a part of life. And also that there is a greater meaning to the pain that you are feeling right now. I always remind myself of who I'm serving. And I serve a God who is a God of love, a God of peace, a God of victory, but he is also a God of brokenness. And throughout the Bible, time and time again, God reveals his glory in people who are broken and people who are going through adversity. And, I guess my advice to myself would be to let it out of your system, give it to God, give him control of your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your heart. Be honest with him and give him your situation, because it's not in vain. Like, you're not meant to be hurt. You're not meant to be depressed. You're not. Like, that's not your calling. Like, you shouldn't be like that. But we're human and life happens. And I guess, just know that there's a greater meaning to it. Although you may not understand it, you may not understand what you're going through, but just know that God's with you. He'll never forsake you. And through this brokenness, through this heartbreak, it's a door to let God reveal himself in your life. And when I give everything to him, he restores in me joy and peace, knowing that his will is greater and there's no safer place than in his will. And that gives me strength and that gives me reassurance to move on and just live through it and stuff. Because when I do come to those moments in my life where I feel sad, those are the things that keeps me together. So yeah, I guess that's my advice.
Okay, so the next question was, what do you do when you're feeling sad? And I think that it depends on how sad I am. But of course, first and foremost, always give it to God. You know, it's not something that you can control ever, even when it feels like you can. But aside from like praying and talking to God about it, I also like get myself out of my like frump, I guess. Is that even the word? But you know what I mean? Like if I'm at home and I feel sad, I'm like, you know what? Like if I just sit here in my room and lay on my bed, it's not gonna get any better. I'm not gonna, like, new ideas, positive feelings are not gonna come to me laying on my bed. And so I normally try to take myself out. I'm like, I know coffee makes me happy. I know treating myself makes me happy. I know buying something new makes me happy. I know hanging out with friends makes me happy. So whatever I have to do to get myself out of that feeling, I try to do that. And it's not necessarily ignoring it. Like I said, you know, I always give it to God regardless. And, you know, it's never in my control. But yeah, just, you know, get yourself out of your room, get yourself out of wherever you are used to being in that does not help. And sometimes, you know, your bad moods can be created exactly where you are. So get yourself out, you know, with your friends or whatever it is. And also music. Music helps wonders, like absolutely wonders. And oh, something else that might not be popular opinion, I guess, but something that actually like gives me, I guess, nostalgia. Is that even, I don't know. Guys, I don't know. I'm in college, but just don't trust me. But like watching cartoons and stuff like that, like something that I knew that I watched when I was young, literally overwhelming happiness. Like it takes it away pretty quickly.
Currently 5 Christian songs / singers right now. I suck at this question. I always I listen to really cool music. But I always forget. I should have wrote them all down. But I guess my all-time favorite artist would be Mary Mary. Dude, if y'all know Mary Mary, like, we're best friends. Literally. Like, I love Mary Mary. Ever since I was little, my mom would bump that. Like, I can sing you every Mary Mary song from every single album and not miss a beat. Like, I'm obsessed. And I feel like I always will be. I don't know. I like kind of gospel like that. Like J Moss is cool too. But more like modern, I guess. Abby Moreno, she's my cousin. Y'all should look her up on iTunes. She came out with a single this year. It's called Empty Me. Y'all need to bump that this summer. It's like, it gives you all the vibes. I swear, it's such a good song. So yeah, Abby Moreno, Empty Me, one of my favorite songs. And I'm not just saying that because she's my cousin. I genuinely love that song. Intensifier is a really good band. They're from Australia, and they just have just like beautiful songs. Like, they're awesome. What else? Travis Green is one of my favorite worship leaders for sure. Travis Green. Yeah, I can't think of another one. Yeah. So.
Okay, so 5 favorite Christian songs or singers. One of them is actually a rapper, and his name is What Up RG. If you haven't checked him out, you're missing out. You need to go check him out. I really like him. I really like Bethel, but like, there's a reason why everybody likes them, and I'm part of that, you know, little groupie, so whatever, I'm proud of it. I also really like Elevation Worship. They're also really good. And 2 of my favorite songs would have to be by What Up RG, so that says something. I really like Rose Gold by him and Exit 104. Those are really, really good.
Would you rather live 100 years in the past or 100 years in the future? Well, I kind of had a hard time understanding this question because, like, I'm just dumb like this. But, like, 100 is kind of a weird number because, like, if I were to live 100 years in the future, I'd be dead. And if I lived 100 years in the past, I wouldn't exist. Or are you talking about, like, 100 years, like, you would live in 100 years? Like, you as you are in your being right now, be in 100 years in the future. And see how that's like in the 100 years in the future. I'd probably do future because my past is trash and I was super ratchet and made a lot of bad decisions, so I don't really want to live through that again. But for sure the future. Yeah, the future. I have a lot of exciting things coming up, and I'm like really impatient, so definitely in the future.
Okay, so would I rather live 100 years in the future or 100 years in the past? Honestly, I don't think that my little heart and soul could take 100 years in the future because, you know, it is biblically known that it's going to get worse as the years go by. So honestly, like 100 years from now, I can't imagine the terror and evil that would exist in the world at that point. And so I think I would rather live 100 years in the past, because that means I would be a child. Hopefully. Is that? Whatever. I'd probably be a child. And if I get that choice. And that means I wouldn't have to go to work. That means I wouldn't have to go to school. So honestly, not even a question.
Are you still close to the people you were once inseparable with? Whoa. Okay, so for the most part, no. And I don't want to rant again, but I definitely believe that if you are not losing friends, you're not growing. And, you know, there are people who come into your life that are meant to be there for a season, and there are people who are meant to be there for a lifetime. And sometimes we make lifetime decisions with seasonal people. And, you know, it happens, and it's okay to grow apart. You know, I still love and pray for everyone who left a mark in my life and who are no longer here. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, it's awkward when you see someone that you shared so much of yourself with. Like, you know, there are people in my life who, like, I'll see sometimes, and, like, we don't even make eye contact with each other yet. They know all my secrets, and we shared so many memories, and it's, like, just really weird. But it's just, you know, it's life, and it happens. And so I guess no is my answer for sure. For the most part, I do still have people in my life who I'm not as close with, but I still, like, I'm in contact with them. So yeah, I guess that's my answer.
So last question. I'm really grateful to whoever asked this question, because it's pretty deep and I'm actually pretty excited to answer it. So the question was, are you still close to people that you were once inseparable with? And that is a yes/no answer, because I have people in my life that I have known since I was, like, you know, 10, and I have someone in my life that I've known her ever since we literally shared a crib. So, and it's not a sibling. So it's, you know, it's crazy how there are certain people that are in your life for that long, and, you know, God knows why. God knows that they're going to be a blessing no matter what you're going through, and that's why they are allowed to be in your life that long. And there's certain people in your life that can only be there at a certain time frame. You know, there's people, and you guys are all living testimonies to that. You have people that you talk to all 4 years of high school, and then now the idea of being friends with them is, you know, not cringy, but it's just like, you know that it wouldn't be a healthy relationship. You know that your friendship with them would not bless the life that you live right now, would be toxic, or maybe they're still living immature. They're still living as if they were in high school, and, you know, you're past that. You know, that's why those people have left your life, because God saw that coming. And so I think that, you know, that's just an example, but there's certain people in your life that you've met after high school but only stayed there a couple years. I have plenty of people in my life that I met the minute after I graduated, and they were in my life 2-3 years, and then they left. And there's no hate in that, and I don't think that we ever have the right to hate someone for leaving us, because, you know, even if it was on toxic terms, I think that if you lost them and they were toxic, then that just shows that you were the mature one, whether you saw that in the moment or not. God did, and that's why they're not in your life anymore. And I mean, you never know. Like, there's a lot of things in our lives that where we think that, you know, if we held on to them, they would have been a blessing this far into our life. And I know that you guys all have lost someone, and, you know, whether that be, you know, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or just friendships, best friends. I've lost a best friend. I've lost plenty of people, but I don't hate any of them, and I still am really grateful for the people that I have in my life now. And I think that God brings people, takes them away, but then blesses you with new people. So every season of your life, you know, whether it be your college years, whether it be once you're married, whatever it is, there's gonna be the right people in your life. And I think that's something that you can have peace in. That's something that I'm trying to teach myself to have peace in, is that, okay, this person was really good to me during these 3 years, but after this, God knew it wasn't going to be good anymore, and that's why they're not there anymore. So yeah, I just think that I've learned to not hold grudges towards that, and I have good people in my life. I've lost good people that would have been bad now. So whatever it is, I'm just trusting God through all of it, and I know that every season of my life, I'm going to have the right people next to me.
So yeah, those are all my answers. Thank you again, Brianna, for letting me be on here, and for those who watched this video all the way through and who listened to what I had to say, thank you so much. Like, it truly means the world to me, and I hope that whatever I said, if it meant something to you, if it related to you, I hope that, you know, you are blessed by it, and it encourages you to step out of your comfort zones and, you you know, I hope that you join me on this journey too, to try new things and putting ourselves out there. I know it's hard, but it'll be worth it, I promise. Let me stop being corny. But for real, like, follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. I'd love to get to know you guys. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys soon. And yeah, have a great day. Peace out, guys.